Hey guys, it's 12:02 a.m., which means it's officially day 5 of the BooktubeAthon. I didn't finish Illuminae like I wanted to, but I am almost complete. I have like 50 more pages left and that's it, so I'm definitely finishing the book before I go to bed tonight. That means my page count for day 4 of the BooktubeAthon was 241 pages, which I feel is still very good. I plan to update again tonight after I finish this book, but I may be too emotionally devastated to do that. If I am and I don't update tonight, I guess I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow morning. It's now 1:32 a.m. and I just got finished with Illuminae. I would have gotten done sooner, but I was checking other YouTube. YouTube's my only excuse. I would summarize this book, but I have no clue where to start. I don't even think this book requires a summary. I just think people should go into it not knowing anything and just not expecting anything, and then just let themselves get blown away. Why is... Literally just got done with the book. I actually kept notes on my phone while I was listening to the book because I didn't want to miss anything, but so much was going on in the book that I was afraid I would forget stuff, so I just started making a list of all the things I wanted to talk about. But as of the start of day 5 of the BooktubeAthon, I have read 51 pages. Hopefully I can read a lot more today. But since I want to read More Happy Than Not next, and I want to use it to fulfill 2 challenges, one of them being to read outside, I kind of have to wait until at least 6 a.m. to go outside when it's light enough. Hopefully a good night's sleep will help my eyes hurt less from all the crying and will help my emotions become a little bit more stable. Hopefully. I don't know, this book is taking me on an emotional roller coaster that I never expected to go on, especially since, I mean, yeah, you kind of get to know all the characters that die, but, you know, not well enough that you would expect to just be bawling your eyes out when they die. I don't know, I'm just so glad that I just impulsively chose this book to read during the BooktubeAthon, because I normally steer clear from sci-fi books because I find them hard to get into. I mean, I've only read, I think, 2 sci-fi series. Well, one is technically sci-fi, but took place completely on Earth. So that one wasn't hard to understand because everything was basically the same except for the terminology they used. And truthfully, the other sci-fi series I read in high school, and I really can't remember what it was about. I know I didn't really particularly like it because I found the terminology really hard to understand, and it took place completely in space, which this did too. But thankfully this was actually really easy to get into after about the first 80 pages, and that could have been because after I got to page like 90, I started following along while the audiobook read to me. And I think that was the best way to go because I feel like I really got the full experience of this book. What else can I really say? I love the book more than I ever expected. And I have another series of, that was written by these authors. I don't know what the series is called, like These Broken Stars or something. I've heard great things about that trilogy, and it's sci-fi, and I like 99.9% sure that it was written by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. After reading or listening to this, I feel a lot more confident about picking up that trilogy. I don't think I'll be doing that in the very near future because I think after I finish this and then hopefully read Gemina after BooktubeAthon, I don't think I'm going to be in the mood to just jump into a new sci-fi series like right away. So that means I have officially completed 2 books for the BooktubeAthon. I finished Lucky in Love, and that went to the challenge of reading a book with a person on the cover. And then this book went to the challenge of reading a hyped book. So I finished 2 books and 2 challenges. And hopefully by reading More Happy Than Not, I will have finished 2 more challenges. Okay, well, I'm going to go write a review for this book and go see if I can find a audiobook for Gemina. So I will see you guys in the morning. Night. Hey guys, it's time to do today's video challenge. The video challenge for today was to come up with a class that you would like to either teach or be a part of. And to make this challenge a bit more difficult, you have to include at least 1 book from your BooktubeAthon TBR. I really wanted to come up with a class or reading list that would go with Illumine, but I couldn't actually think of a topic where I would have enough books to actually make a reading list for that. So instead, I'm going to be going with the Red Pyramid by Rick Riordan that I added to my TBR, I think on day 1 or 2. So the topic I chose is mythology. It's something I have always loved learning about, and it's something that I would also enjoy teaching. And just to get this out of the way, all of Rick Riordan's books are going to be on this reading list. We got the Percy Jackson series that goes over Greek mythology. We have the Heroes of Olympus series that goes over Roman mythology. Then we had the Trials of Apollo series that is a blend of both. Then from there we would move on to the Magnus Chase series, which is Norse mythology, and the Red Pyramid trilogy that deals with Egyptian mythology. Yes, I love and adore all of Rick Riordan's books, but that is not the only reason they are on this list. They are probably the most informative and fun way I have ever come across to learn anything about mythology. And when you're trying to teach a class, or even if you're a part of a class, that's one thing that you always want. You want learning to be fun and entertaining, or you will just have a lot of grumpy people that don't want to be there. So Rick Riordan's books would be spaced throughout the year. We'd start with reading the first 5 Percy Jackson books 1 month, and then 2 or 3 months later we'd pick up the Heroes of Olympus series and read that for a couple months, since that series is quite a bit bigger, and then continue on from that. And then probably after 2 or 3 months in, we would read Soundless by Rochelle Mead, and I believe this is Chinese mythology. This is a book that I haven't read yet, so I think the fact that it has to do with Chinese mythology, which I have very, very little knowledge of, and the fact that I love this author, if I was teaching this class, I would actually love to experience this book along with everyone, and if I was just a part of the class, this would just be something that I would have wanted to read anyways, so I'm more likely to enjoy the reading assignment. And then I have 2 more books to add to this reading list that are more educational. The first book would be Greek Mythology for Everyone, Legends of the Gods and Heroes by Donald Richardson. It's been a while since I read this book, but it tells all of the old stories that have to do with Greek gods and their heroes, like Theseus and Hercules and the fall of Troy. It also has a lot more of a introduction than most books about Greek mythology that I've come across. It tells the beginning of the gods and Mount Olympus, and how heroism even began. Then the last book on this reading list is Mythology: Timeless Tales of Gods and Heroes by Edith Hamilton. This book is a lot like the last book, but it has less of a background to it, and it splits itself into parts. It goes from the gods and the creation and the heroes to stories of love and adventure. And then it also has a lot of illustrations throughout the book to engage you more. And this book doesn't just cover Greek mythology, it also covers a bit of Norse mythology, which is something I wasn't interested in when I picked up this book, but since reading the Magnus Chase series, I'm very interested in it and want to know more. So this is my reading list for my mythology class. And oh my god, this is heavy. I can't hold it anymore. Oh! I really shouldn't have picked all those up. Well, that was the class reading list challenge. Quite a bit of books, but I feel like you could get through all of these books within a school year easily. But for now, I've got to get back to my own reading list for the BooktubeAthon. So, I'll see you guys later. Hey guys, welcome
to the outside world.
I was going to read More Happy Than Not by Anne Silvera for the book I read outside, but it spent the majority of the day raining, and I really want to finish this challenge because it's like actually feels good out today and it's not 1,000,000 degrees, I say, as the sun comes out. So instead I'm going to be reading Haikyuu Volume 2. It shouldn't take me long to finish this, hopefully no more than an hour, because it's already starting to get hotter out here and I really just want to go back inside where the air condition is. So I better get started. Hey guys, it's 9:42 p.m. and I'm ending this video real early tonight because I'm not going to be doing any more reading. I'm just going to go to bed because I have this massive headache that just won't go away. Truthfully, I've had this headache for probably about 4 days now, but it's just worse tonight, so just going to call it early and then hopefully get a much earlier start in the morning. Because BooktubeAthon has been messing with my sleeping schedule. I'm not even gonna tell you what times I've been sleeping to, because it's really embarrassing. I finished this book early this morning and then went to the challenge of reading a hyped book. I read a total of 51 pages of this book, and I was going to read More Happy Than Not outside, but it had just rained and it was really humid and getting really hot by the time I actually made it outside. So I just decided to pick up Haikyuu Volume 2. And this was a total of 200 pages. And I plan on reading at least the first 51 pages of More Happy Than Not. But that sadly didn't happen because I got sucked into watching YouTube videos and looking at stuff on Redbubble. So I've read 3 books for the BooktubeAthon so far, and I've completed 3 challenges. And my page count so far is 1,132 pages. All of this reading has really helped me catch up with my Goodreads reading goal. I am now only 1 book behind schedule, and I'm hoping to read at least 2 more books. It's hard to believe there are only 2 days left. I'm not sure I can actually get 2 books read in that time, but fingers crossed that I'll be able to, because I really want to read at least 2 more books. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!